competition we want. I've got 20 years of marriage. I'm carrying his baby. And he loves me. You haven't got a hope in hell against that. So I wouldn't waste my time trying. I guess that's really all I came to say.
Hi. I expected lunch to be waiting for me.
I didn't know you were coming home. I'll go and get you something.
Don't worry, Rosie, I've eaten. Lily came home to talk to my missus.
Not yet, she isn't. Oh, how do you feel about the change of plans? Is that all right?
Sure. Like I said the other night. Not so sure about putting it back, though. I fixed everything at work. Wouldn't look good changing it again. And it'd mean less time for the honeymoon.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I don't see why we can't stick to the original date. Just means we'll all have to work a bit faster.
Fine by me.
Couldn't help thinking either Mum and Dad will be tickled pink having to come to Sydney.
They live in the country, don't they?
Yeah, Mount Macedon. Hardly been away from the place since Dad retired.
Oh, it'd be lovely to meet them. You won't be able to organise a church and reception place, you know.
Well, what's wrong with having it here?
That's what I thought. I'll start work on the cake today, and then we'll work out the rest of the breakfast. Unless you think we should wait for your mother to come back from Melbourne.
No, why should we? I'll go over and see Mrs. Armstrong. She'll give us a hand.
Good idea.
Why don't you give David a ring? Let him know it's on.
Where are you going?
To see Mrs. Armstrong. We're going to get cracking. Let's get cracking.
I really don't think I should, Angela.
If you're worried about Mummy, don't be. I'm sure she'd be grateful for the help.
Your mother's the main reason. You are, after all, her daughter. I know how I'd feel.
But there's so little time to go. She's going to need all the help she can get.
And I'm sure your mother is more than capable of handling it. Oh, I'm sorry, Angela. I just don't think it would be the correct thing to do.
I thought you didn't go along with all that old-fashioned stuff.
There's a difference between old-fashioned stuff and etiquette.
Sorry. You made your point. Still can't stop you from coming to the wedding.
I'm afraid that's going to be out of the question, too.
No, but that's one of the reasons I was so pleased it was going to be up here, so you could come.
I have a long-standing appointment that day. In fact, I don't think I'm even going to be in town overnight. Oh, I really am sorry. Oh, I'm sure my absence isn't going to ruin it for you.
No, but it would have been nice.
Yes, I agree. But I'm afraid it's just not possible. And I'm sure your mother would be happier organising things herself.
Yeah, maybe I should hold off till she gets back. For sure, if I start trying to get the ball rolling, I'll muck it up. I might head off to the stud, go for a ride. Could do something to keep yourself from going nuts.
No. It was a nice lunch, then.
I wasn't sure whether or not you like sardines.
No. Glad you called in. I mightn't have got any otherwise. Well, a late finish, I probably won't have much time for tea.
Where is Mrs. Palmer?
I don't know. Funny she's not here to make my lunch.
She deserves a bit of a break. A trip to Sydney will probably do her good. And I'm looking forward to it. Never been there. Oh, we're in here.
Oh. Sorry.
Didn't fix me up. Where have you been?
Oh, I had a couple of things I've been meaning to do for ages. Time just got away from me, that's all.
Isn't it great news about us going to Sydney for the wedding?
Yes, love, wonderful.
Can't wait to get home and tell Kevin.
Well, you can trot off now. I'll take over here.
Yeah, plenty of dishes to do.
Right.
Bye.
Bye, love.
Oh, you're 2 tins short of sardines if you want to put them on the shopping list.
Right. Bye.
Rob called. The wedding's not going to be a week later after all.
Oh, it doesn't give them much time.
To ask Ron Jackson for some extra time off.
What for?
Well, I've got to be there to get fitted for the suit. And they want me for the rehearsal.
I see.
Beryl, could you think you'd be able to manage to at least put on an act for the sake of the kids?
I'll be there for the wedding, but not a minute before I'm needed.
Can't you forget the way you feel about Patricia for a few days?
No, I cannot. And there's certainly no way I'm going to stay in the same house as her.
So you won't be coming up early with me?
No. I'll be there, but just long enough to see them married.
How am I going to explain that to them?
It's your problem.
Thanks very much. I'm going to work. It's nice to see at least Lynn's happy about it.
Oh, it'll be fantastic to go somewhere I've never been before.
Suppose it will.
We could treat it sort of like another honeymoon. Help us to forget how things have been lately.
I'm not going. There's no way I'm going to have anything to do with the Hamiltons.
But it's Rob and Angela's wedding.
I don't care.
Kevin, you have to...
I don't have to do anything.
If your mum can go along with it, you should be able to. Your dad seems to think it's okay. If they can swallow their pride, why can't you?
I don't call it swallowing pride. I reckon it's being two-faced.
Well, you're being silly.
I am not being silly. If they want to back down, that's their business. But I'm not going to change my mind, and I'll tell them that too. I don't know why you agreed to it, Mum.
There were lots of reasons. The fact is, it's happening, and we have to make the best of it.
But for her to be having the wedding in their house? I mean, a church wouldn't have been too bad, but in their house?
Oh, Kevin, don't go on. That's the way things are, and the last thing we need is you carrying on.
I am not carrying on, but if that's the way it's going to be, I won't be there.
Then you'll be home on your own. You're not going to spoil it for me.
Fine, you go if you want to.
I will.
Good. No skin off my nose.
That's enough, both of you.
You don't care about me, do you?
Not if you're stupid enough to go along with it.
I said enough is enough. Is that your decision?
Yeah.
Fine. I'll tell your father.
Oh, no. I'll tell him myself. In fact, it'll be a pleasure to tell him exactly what I think of the Hamiltons.
Gordon?
In the study.
Oh, I'm glad to be home. Could do with a drink.
Bad trip.
Oh, the trip was all right. I was just glad to get out of Melbourne.
Did your southern friends hear you say that?
If you mean the Palmers, I couldn't care less. You've no idea how rude they were.
Really?
Oh, it was like a catfight trying to get them to change their minds.
I gather it's still on?
Yes, I was able to convince them, but not without making a few concessions.
Anything too drastic?
I'm afraid so. Believe me, Gordon, I tried, but there was no hope of convincing them otherwise.
What?
David feels he should be the one to give Angela away.
Oh.
If there'd been a way out, I would have taken it.
Can't say I'm pleased about it.
Of course you aren't. But they made it very clear if we didn't go along with them, they'd make things as difficult as they could for Angela. I can't risk having her day ruined.
Can they even think of spoiling it for her?
I don't know. But there was no choice.
They could try to call their bluff, I suppose.
There is one big advantage you have, of course. And that is that the wedding's here, on our home ground. That's going to mean a great deal to Angela.
True. I suppose there is that. You said there were a couple of points.
Yes, the other one has to do with Fiona.
Daddy, are you home?
What's the matter?
Oh, I was just at the stud and I was talking to Alan.
Oh, yes?
Well, I invited him to the wedding, but he said he couldn't come because he had to go to Woomba to work for the new owner. He said the new owner's Fiona Thompson.
Yes, that's right.
Why did you keep it a secret?
Because I didn't want anything to come out until after the wedding. It's an important day for you. With people taking sides and squabbling. I was really only thinking of you.
Your father was right, darling. David and Beryl feel very strongly about Fiona coming to the wedding. There's no way she won't be here. That's just what I was about to tell you.
What?
I know it's not going to be easy, but we'll just have to do our best to make her feel welcome, that's all.
Oh, count me out. If they want her here, fine, but I won't be talking to her. I think you're too soft.
I agree with you, darling. That's what I've been trying to tell him.
The main thing is the day goes smoothly.
Couldn't agree more, which is why we should be concentrating on getting things done.
We've decided to stick with the same date.
Heavens, we'll have to get our skates on. Tomorrow's going to be a big day. Quite frankly, Fiona should be the last of our worries.
Nice to see you both up so early. I couldn't sleep a wink last night.
There's an old song like that, isn't there, Rosie?
I suppose I'm just getting a bit too excited. Look what I found, though. You like it?
It's great, Rosie. Do you think you'll get it made in time?
Oh, when I put my mind to something, it gets done. I had to think about some other things, too.
Plenty of salves and sauce, eh?
It's going to be a wedding breakfast, not one of those half-baked affairs.
Better not be half-baked.
Oh, get away with you.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be terrific, whatever it is. I've got to go and earn some more money.
Bye.
See ya.
Well, what do you think we should start with?
Well, there's this marvellous recipe for prawns. It's a cold dish.
Is this for dinner? No, Rosie's been planning the wedding breakfast.
Oh. Now, I'm afraid you've been wasting your time, Rosie. I contacted a friend last night, and with any luck, we're going to have the best caterers in Sydney. Cost a fortune, of course, but it'll be worth every cent. It was lucky I had the contact. They're normally booked up for months.
Oh. Well, I suppose the cake will take me long enough.
Oh, no, they do all of that. It'd be much better if you kept out of it, Rosie.
That wasn't necessary, Mother. She's been up all night planning what to do.
Darling, she's too old to have that much responsibility.
It meant so much to her being a part of it.
We can't let sentimentality interfere. Besides, isn't it much nicer to have Rosie as a guest rather than as a servant?
Didn't think of it like that.
I did.
I'll go and have a talk to her. Rosie, Mother didn't mean it to sound like that.
Didn't she?
I know how much you want to do part of the wedding.
You've always liked my cooking, haven't you?
Of course I have. But think of the time you'd have to do it in.
But I've done it before. Cooked for dozens of people for your father at Mumbai.
I know. But as Mother pointed out, it's much better to have you as a guest. You can enjoy yourself than being stuck in the kitchen all day.
She would think of an excuse like that.
I think she meant it.
You know she didn't. Just for once, I really thought I could do something for you.
But you have.
How?
By wanting to do it. Rosie, it means a lot to me to know that you were so keen to help. It really does.
Well, only the two of you. I think it'll be a long time before I see Wayne married.
I'll be happier if you're a guest.
Not because of your mother.
No, not because of Mother. And I think the cake you chose looks terrific. I've asked the caterers if they can find one just like it. Won't taste the same, of course. Friends?
Of course.
And you will come as a guest?
Oh, I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Ron Jackson's a good bloke.
Oh?
He's making it really easy for me to work my times around, so I can have the extra to go to Sydney.
Must think a lot of you.
Yeah. Oh, it's give and take. I think they can see I'm doing my best in the job and they're prepared to play ball. Different kettle of fish from Bates.
Lucky for you.
Yeah. I was thinking last night at work, it'd be really nice if you could come with me. You know, earlier.
I've made up my mind, David. No one will know I'm not happy about it, don't worry. But I'll be there for the wedding, and that's all.
But you can't change it.
At least I'm coming, which is more than Kevin's doing.
You serious?
He was here yesterday after he'd gone to work.
I thought we managed to iron a few things out.
Not when it comes to the Hamiltons. I told him I'd tell you, but he wants to face you with it. Thought you should know.
Oh, what does he expect me to say?
I don't know, but he's made up his mind as far as I can see. At least you'll know what to expect when you do talk to him.
Well, I'll call in on the way to work. Straighten it out.
Best of luck.
You won't convince me, so it's a waste of time.
I only want to talk calmly about it, Kev.
Yeah, well, I'm not looking for an argument.
The simple fact of the matter is that Angela is getting married in Sydney. And she deserves for all of us to be there for her and Rob. I know we have problems when it comes to the Hamiltons.
Yeah.
For one day, we should be able to put them all aside and do the right thing. I'm not happy about it, but I'm going along with it.
And Dad right where she wants him. And she'll do what she can to make Mum look an idiot, I bet. Now, the ones I feel really sorry for are Angela and Rob. If you want to go along with it, then go. But if you do, I reckon you're just as weak as the rest of them.
I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
No, not at all. Can I get you something?
Oh, no, I don't want to be any bother.
You run after me enough at Mumbai. Now, do you want something or don't you?
No, really, thank you.
Oh, sit down. Oh, don't look so uncomfortable.
I feel funny just dropping in like this.
Well, I did give an open invitation. Now, tell me, how is everything?
Terrible. She's back.
Yes, I know.
I told Gordon he was stupid choosing her over you, but...
Rosie, I'd really rather not discuss that.
Oh, I didn't mean to...
I know what you're trying to do, but Gordon made his decision. All the talk in the world isn't going to change anything.
She, wants to boot me out. I'm a wake-up to her, that's the trouble.
Well, Gordon wouldn't stand for it.
Oh, she's too crafty to let him know what she's up to. It's the little things, like the wedding. She won't let me have anything to do with it. But she makes out it's because she's worried about me. You just watch. Next, she'll be trying to get Gordon to pension me off.
No one is going to get you pensioned off.
She'll do it, somehow or other. I know her.
Well, I'm telling you, Gordon won't let that happen.
She made him get rid of you, and he loves you. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just a stupid old woman who can't keep her mouth shut.
I know how you meant it. But it was different with me. It was a different sort of choice. Oh, you'll be all right.
I wish I could be as sure as you are.
It's one of my favourite parts of the garden, too.
Yeah, it's nice.
There aren't many flowers around this time of the year, so I thought I'd decorate around the edges with some winter wattle.
I didn't think there'd be enough out.
Ah, there's wattle in flower every month of the year. And I thought I'd use something else to make it look really terrific, like this. Ah, careful. Could be a bit thorny.
Oh, you're the gardener. I suppose what you choose will be right.
I suppose I should call you Miss Hamilton, if that's the way you feel.
You won't be talking enough for you to call me anything.
Hi.
Hi.
Got home a bit early.
The gardener's been telling me how he's going to decorate the bower for the ceremony. Wattle and something like this.
Oh, great. Should look terrific. Hope there's not too many people with hay fever.
Come on, we better get back inside. The designer will be here for fitting fairly soon.
Oh, I'm sure I'll be a lot of help there. I'm more interested in the finished product. Hey, seeing as how you're putting so much effort into making the place look great, I reckon you should come to the wedding.
Oh, I don't think so.
Why not? Silly for you to be the odd man out. Besides, I'd be insulted if you didn't.
Well, I don't want to insult you. Yeah, I'd like to come.
Done.
Come on, Mother's probably waiting. What did you do that for?
Why not? He's a nice bloke.
He's an employee. We don't even know him.
Oh, who cares? Besides, I don't go much to this employee bit anyway. He's a bloke just like me. Anyway, there'll be so many people at the wedding, he'll notice Paul.
What do you think, Rob?
Well, I haven't had a lot of experience with wedding dresses. I think I'll pass.
That's the coward's way out. We're going to have to think about your going away outfits, too.
I was going to wear shorts.
Hit him, will you, Angela?
What's wrong with him wearing shorts if he wants to?
Oh, you really are impossible.
I wish the designer would hurry up and come. I can't be bothered waiting around for him all afternoon.
Have you finished with that invitations list? I'll need to advise the caterer about numbers.
Oh, I hope you don't mind. I've added another one. Paul, the gardener. He's a nice bloke and he'll be here anyway.
Oh, fine, fine.
Oh, I asked Mrs. Armstrong. She can't come. She's got something else on.
Oh, pity.
I think I'll go out and get some air. It's a bit stuffy in here. What are all these packing cases for?
They've arrived from Mumbai. I don't know where Rosie is. She's supposed to unpack them. Yeah. What's the matter with her?
Don't ask me. Nerves?
Miss Hamilton. Hey, I'm sorry about before, but I didn't want an argument with Rob. Don't worry. I will be coming to the wedding.
Oh, you don't have to stay away. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to act the way I did.
I wasn't too polite myself. It's just that I'm not used to people taking such a dislike to me. I don't know what I've done to make you so against me.
I don't dislike you.
Could have fooled me.
I've tried to ignore you because... Well, because I'm getting married in a couple of days' time. If you want to come to the wedding, that's up to you.
But what's he praying for? And is that going to make him give up his vocation or run back to the seminary faster than you can say, that Angela Hamilton's a man-eater? I noticed that Angela went off riding quite happily today when she couldn't even lift a tennis racket yesterday because of that broken rib. Oops. But it's Beryl who stole the show with that tirade of abuse at Patricia. I agree with David. She's so unreasonable. She just won't put the way she feels about Patricia out of her mind. Gosh, she's so selfish. And she wasn't there to make David's lunch. Thank goodness for Lynn, or David surely would have starved. Colin emailed the Sons and Daughters news list run by Martin Hasker to say that Beryl Palmer could be a case for the X-Files. Her resemblance to Bungle from Rainbow is uncanny, even her gestures. Fortunately, unlike Bungle, she doesn't walk around naked. I'll leave your imagination with that one till Monday at 1:30.